and this is Josh Navarrete.
There you go. Good.
Not bad.
Awesome. There you go, Mike. You see, when you're not stressing out or you don't think about too much about it, it just comes out really easily.
Yeah.
So, hey, there you go. Thanks for having me, guys. Appreciate it.
Yeah, well, I met you in kind of a strange situation. We were doing our 25th anniversary, and I sought out something different, something unique, something that none of our franchisees had ever done. And I bumped up against you, and I read a little bit about you. I was super impressed, and I was like, oh, that could be perfect. So that's how we got to know each other, was when we did our 25th anniversary at your shop, making tomahawks.
It was,
and I'd like to say knives, but they were more like shivs, you know.
They were beautiful shanks.
Yeah, I would be, the corrections office, man, I'd be like a top of the line, you know. But other than that, it was pretty rough. But we had an amazing time, and you do that in your shop, you teach classes, and one of our franchisees, Charles, and I went out there and made a Damascus knife, which was really awesome. I'm not going to talk about Charles's came out great, mine came out great until it separated.
It was a little
What
delay.
is a Damascus knife?
You know what?
Is that what's on your arm?
No.
No.
Oh, on your arm?
Well,
no.
This is a
See, I don't
this is a
know.
cookery. This is a cookie style. So it's Damascus. Basically, Damascus is a combination of two or more different type of steels, and they just laminate it. What is interesting about Damascus is that we really do not know how Damascus was first made. Yeah, it's crazy to think about it because we have an idea today, obviously. So, but if you think about it, back in the day, blacksmiths were the ones. Were the ones that will fix, that will make tools, they will. I mean, they were one, if not the most important, was one of the top two most important roles back in the day, right? But and then the Industrial Revolution hit, and nobody wanted to be blacksmith. There was no need for it anymore. So a lot of the information was lost. And probably even prior to that, because little by little blacksmiths, they were not really that needed anymore. So nobody wanted to be a blacksmith anymore, so the information got lost. So we really do not know how it was made. Again, today we have an idea because, it's not really a hard concept to figure it out, right? So it's just basically laminated, pieces of different metals and everything, and then you make this beautiful contrast. Now, what is interesting is that when Damascus was first made, this is my understanding, what I've read, and like I said, I don't read much. I like pictures. I don't read much. But anyway, so they were looking. Back in the day, they were utilizing soft metals. So bronze, copper, brass, all that stuff, and then iron, and then they tried to figure out how to make a stronger blade. Well, somebody figure out, let's go ahead and start laminating things. Like plywood. Mm-hmm. Plywood is so strong. Well, it's because of the laminations.
Yeah.
So they sort of kind of figure out, hey, this actually maybe makes a stronger blade. So they came out with Damascus. Now in Japan was a different story. Because Japan was one of the only countries that it was really untouched by all these changes because of the geography. Geography has a lot to do with where we are today, right? So Japan was really untouched by the changes and everything. And they kept, because of their own culture, they kept everything just solid. And all the information continued being passed down to generations. So that's why today we know exactly how katanas were made back in the day. And they're still today. There's a handful of still bladesmith masters that still make katanas and different type of weapons. They're always, which is bananas. Okay, it's just a different level. It's a total different level. But if I wanted to, if I had the time and the brains, I could make a katana the always because we have that information available. With Damascus, it's not. But again, it's not really hard concept to figure it out. So when Mike mentioned about the lamination, basically that's kind of what happened. Is basically those layers, there was maybe a little bit of a gap or scale or something that is in between some of the layers, and did not allow for those layers to forged together, and then you get a little delay.
So do a double cut.
So
Something like that. It's a beautiful knife, though.
dual.
I as far as the the skill of like that, I feel really good about my skill about making a good blade, good straight. I mean, all of this. I mean, everything looked exactly like I wanted it.
Yeah.
I just need to work on that skill of being able to laminate correctly. And we could have been a variety of things, but the blade itself was. I was really happy. It gives me hope that, like, you know what, I can actually do this. And it came so naturally. Like when we went over the sander, and just to be able to work that thing, to get that blade just super sharp, and so I don't know, super happy about that.
Well, what's interesting is that when I first started, I mean, I've been doing it for about 17 years. There was no teacher.
How did you start?
So I was I was one of the lucky kids that still has shop in high school back in '94. So my teacher taught me how to use a lathe. So I learned how to use wood, how to work with wood, and then I make pens and bowls and paper grinders, all that good stuff. So about 17 years ago, I was up in Portland. I kept with that hobby. That's something that I love about it, is that it just got embedded in me that I wanted to continue creating things with my hands. And I was the only one out of my family. Everybody's a white-collar worker, for example, and maybe one of them, two, maybe they learned how to use machines, but they opted not to. I was the only one who kept the whole mentality of having a shop. So anyway, about 17 years ago, I was up in Portland in a place where they sell exotic woods, and I was looking for something to turn. Well, it was this other guy there who actually, he happened to be a knife maker. And we struck a conversation about wood, and then he showed me a knife that he made, a little EDC, and I looked at it and I was like, well, how hard is this to make? Oh, good Lord. I started watching YouTube videos, and I started, getting books. 3 or 4 weeks later, I sold all my lathes.
Wow.
And I bought everything in metalwork. I mean, I got so into it like crazy. I was like, I can do this. I can make this. Plus, I already had the background with working with wood, so handles was going to be a breeze.
Yeah.
So then I started just experimenting and just failing a lot. Yep. I mean, my bucket of screw-ups is not a bucket. It's a freaking tub, man. It's like, I mean, it was crazy. My learning curve is just humongous, right?
Yeah.
So my job as an instructor today is to help anybody who wants to learn, to minimize the size of that bucket, right? You're still gonna screw up. You need to make mistakes, right, to learn things. But your bucket will be smaller, and also your learning curve will be shorter. So that's how I started. It's been one of those things that I need to keep creating things. That's why I got into leather as well. So I make leather sheaths. I did that also because it was getting too expensive to send my knives to a leather worker to do my sheaths.
Yeah.
And the time that it takes, I was like, no, I need to learn this. I cannot just keep sending them away. I learned it, and now I love it. So a sheath can take me to make as long as the same amount of time almost as making a knife. So is how long it takes me to make a sheath. So, but yeah, so that's kind of how I started and everything. But it's very interesting when it comes to, knife making, blacksmithing, because, we all need therapy, right?
Yeah.
A little bit. For some people, it's hunting or fishing or exercising or now soap making now.
Stop it.
Yeah.
Hey, whatever it is, man. I mean, it just works. It works. So again, to me, really, what we do as hobbies, it's not just therapy itself. It's actually preventive therapy.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, and this is where my organization IACT, which I'm the executive director for IACT, and that's okay. So, when I started getting into the knife making, it's just snowballed. It's one of those things that a hobby became an opportunity. So and then my biggest break was when I was invited to go to the Fortune Fire Show, and that one that's really like the opportunity that I was looking for, because my goal was always to open a shop where people can come in and just get the therapy, get something out of it, So after I won the show, the money I used it to buy equipment, to get a lease for the shop, and then open IACT. At the beginning, I had no idea what I was doing. It's just one of those things. You have a vision, right? I'm a visionary. Like a couple friends of mine tell me, dude, you're a visionary. You're not an engineer. You're a visionary. You know, and like I'm trying to be an engineer as well. Like, yeah, but you're not good at it. Oh, I'm sorry, man. It's just I just throw ideas out there, and people are like, you know, thank God I'm surrounded by people who can actually engineer things around it. Like, yeah, I think we can make it work. Anyway, so I just started an idea, and then but what is interesting is before I finished, before I got the shop. I built a shop in my backyard, and that's where I gave my first class to a vets for free, and I saw the benefits. I saw what blacksmith could do more than just a hobby, actually more, you know, beyond that. And then it fired up from there. I told my wife, I'm doing this. I'm doing this. This is great. This is something very, very, yeah, that we need very much. Now, my background professionally, before you know, besides the blacksmithing, is that my background is supportive employment. So I help people with disabilities and other barriers to employment to find jobs in the community, and I've done that since 1999. Many of them were vets. That's my connection to vets. So I found a gap, the need for a place for them to go and just blow off some steam. There was nothing like that.
Yeah.
So, I mean, we have programs like, you know, like welding programs and business build developing, and all. It's great. We need all those programs, but there was no recreational therapy available. So now, we're still learning about trauma, right? We have the basic knowledge of what PTSD is, for example, but in reality, today what we do. For most of the guys, and you know, being vets, most of them are men. Two issues happen. One thing, we cannot just sit down and talk to somebody about our problems. It doesn't work for all of them.
Right.
It's not naturally. One, because we're men. Two, you know, they are vets.
Yeah.
So you have these two big layers to crack through it. You just can't. So one of the things that you can do is just provide them a place where they can just naturally, you know, release that pressure, that tension. And it's very interesting because we tend to, as men, you know, we tend to bottle things in. You know, it's not easy for us just to talk about things. We bottle, right? But when there's opportunity for us to open the lid, we go all the way.
Yep.
You know, like those Russian, like somebody, I rode bikes for many years. Just riding the bike is just that my chance to just unbottle and then just go ahead. And after the ride, what happens? You're leveled.
Yeah.
The same thing with the blacksmithing. After the day, you're tired, but man, mentally you're level. So those are the opportunities you have to unbottle things, right? So we still, you know, again, we're still finding things out, you know, what to provide the vets and everything. So this blacksmithing is one of those things.
Love it.
And it works. And I have a couple guys who, when they first started with me a few years ago, they will come and very quiet. They will go into a corner, just an anvil, and they will just do their own thing. And okay, Josh, thanks. And they will leave. Today, they're sharing how things are going with me. They're talking about it. They're looking forward to volunteer to things. Yeah. So they found almost an identity in a way. And that's something that I'd really love to talk about a lot, is that you get the therapy, you know, the physical therapy as well, psychological, emotional therapy. But also, many of the vets that come back, they lose their identity. Mm-hmm. Because when they come back, especially after traumatic situations, the food doesn't taste the same. The relationships with their loved ones is different. They try to go back to what they used to like and things like that. It just doesn't feel the same. So they start asking, who am I? And they cannot find that identity anymore. So they start isolating. So one of our goals is to provide that opportunity to maybe help them find an identity again, whatever it is. And that is by learning new tools, new skills and everything, but also being part of a community.
Yeah.
Being part of something, especially when they start getting to know people who are going through the same thing. And like I said, trauma's trauma, mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And everybody understands each other. So this is where, after a couple years of doing this, then we're going to start this mentorship program. And that's kind of what I'm really looking forward to this. So we're going to start bringing at-risk youth kids to be mentored by vets.
Love that.
Our vets, in my opinion, is one of the most underutilized resources we have. we haven't just found many ways of utilizing that experience, training, and discipline. We just haven't. So this is one way. So by bringing kids, we're shooting to accomplish two things. One, many of these kids didn't have the father figure. And we know for a fact the father is the biggest influence on a boy's or a girl's lives. Single moms out there, they do an amazing job. It's one of the hardest things to be a single mom out there. I just cannot even put myself in that situation. But at the end of the day, though, nothing replaces a dad. So the other thing that we're going to try to accomplish is to provide them those transferable skills. So a couple of years ago, I used to work I've been all over the place. I wanted to work I worked for an organization called HIV Alliance. HIV Alliance, our job was to stop the spread of HIV. So we did that by doing needle exchange in downtown, because HIV widely spreads through needle, sharing. So now I have my own opinions about that, okay? Mm-hmm. But it was a job. It was just part of it. So again, I have my opinions, and that is very controversial still, and I understand because I have also my opinions about it. Anyway, every week we'll fill five-gallon buckets of used needles. Wow. It was an eye-opener. And I was only there one day a week. Oh, good Lord. It was an eye-opener. And I wanted to do that because I wanted to learn how to learn more about our homeless, community, the issues that is happening today. And I didn't want nobody to tell me. I wanted to live it. Mm-hmm. And yeah, we were there we will open shop at Great Circle or next to the Gospel, Mission and all that area. So of course, 95% of our customers were homeless. So I will come and I will sit down with one of them or two to just chat and just ask what happened. Really. Two things among many of the little reasons, but the two biggest reasons that will come out was my dad was not in the picture, or he was in jail or something. He was not around. And two, I never learned how to use my hands. Bingo. And many of those, a big majority of those folks, they became homeless before the age of 18. So what is that telling you? So if we're able to, grab kids as young as possible, I want to go even younger than middle school. I want to go younger, to bring them over and start planting that little seed in them about skills and have somebody to look up to, who better than a vet? A lot of my friend vets will say, a vet, really? But yes, no, truly. Our vets with the right support, training, and resources, they don't give up. They will continue moving forward, especially if you give them a mission, which is be a model and a mentor to a kid.
Yeah.
Oh my God, that is one of the biggest things that you can give a vet, where they will have the ability to utilize their discipline, structure, and again, our kids need people who do not give up on them.
Yeah.
Vets do not give up.
I love that. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Mike.
No, I was going to say, I think it's a perfect combination, because I think sometimes, when you give people advice or help or things like that, it also is kind of helps you in a lot of ways. And I think that it's funny, like with vets helping children and having that kind of a connection with the youth and feeling like they make an impact. And then the difference between being entertained by something and having a life skill is two different things. Mm-hmm. Working with your hands and doing all that stuff, you create something at the end of that you put all of that energy and all that stuff into. It's so much more rewarding than being entertained, I guess, in a way, or going out and to try to, let it all out. Mm-hmm. So I think that it's really kind of an interesting balance. And so when you bring the kids in there, how awesome that combination is between, like a vet being able to teach a youth with something they may not have had before, with father figures and things like that. And then, going into the military, you get that inherent training and the structure. And then, so I just love that combination between, because I can't imagine a vet helping a child do all this stuff isn't getting way more out of it than even the child is, but be able to plant those seeds and having a kid grow up with some of those seeds that of knowledge and experience and everything else that goes with it. I think that is an amazing combination. I mean, it's just like a peanut butter and jelly moment, you know?
Yeah.
So I think that's awesome you're doing that.
Absolutely. And we talked about identity for vets. Well, you know, kids are no different. What's happening with our kids today? They're looking for an identity.
Yeah.
They're looking for an identity. They want to feel they belong to something, to somebody, to a group, to whatever it is. So what we try to do in this, and you know, basically the outcome is to help them find an identity. Once they find an identity, they find a purpose. Because they say, oh, you know, because, you know, transferable skills. I will never tell a kid, yeah, you know, go and make a living being a blacksmith. No, if you want to make $1 million as a blacksmith, you need to have $2 million in the bank. It's just no. But what I tell the kids, you know, if you have the chance, go to college, get a degree, whatever, something tangible, something that is worth it, and then go and be an influencer, be a dancer, whatever you want to be. If that doesn't work out, then you have something to rely on, or a trade. Become a electrician, a plumber, a welder. We need this, you know, all this, and then become that and do whatever else you want. So what we do at the shop is we help them see that they're able to, they have the capacity and the capability of learning tools, and then they move into trades. So once they find an identity, let's just say, oh, I like to weld because I learned a little bit welding at the shop. They find an identity. They find a purpose. I'm going to be the best welder I can be. I can make money. I can make, you know, all this and everything. And then what they find? Self-worth. Because they find that they're worth something. They're needed. They have value in this world. So that is the most important thing for a kid, is to feel needed.
Yeah.
And then you plant the little seed on them and make them see that they can actually teach others. Let me tell you something. That's the ability of you know, the chance to give the kid the opportunity to teach others is one of the biggest rewards you can give them. For example, when I also worked for the Marion County Juvenile Department. One day a week, Center Street at the alternative programs. The alternative programs is basically, it's called Fuel, and I don't remember which was the other one. Anyway, so it was a program, it's, you know, put together so those juveniles who have come through the system, and obviously they were minors, they didn't have a job, a way that they could pay back whatever they did, it was to actually participate in programs in a metal shop or a woodworking shop. With Marion County. So I was working there for one day a week at the wood shop, teaching kids how to use a lathe. Well, I got this kid, 12-year-old kid, and I was going to teach him how to turn a pen in the lathe. And I said, okay, can you go and cut 3/4 off of this blank? And he gave me the look. 3/4. I go, yeah, 3/4 of an inch. He had no idea about fractions. I go, get your butt over here. Sit down. We spent half an hour. I was teaching you basically fractions. 1/16, 1/8, 1/32, all that stuff. You should have seen his face line up. Finally, he understood what fractions were.
Good.
And after that, he could not stop talking about it. Oh my God. He was like telling all the other kids about, hey, can I cut this for you? How much do you need cut off? I mean, he was like so excited about it. Yeah. And I said, you know what? I need to go ahead and take on those 2 other kids and teach them how to do that. Okay. They take ownership.
Yeah.
You know, so in the shop, that's our goal, is to do the identity, you know, purpose, and then self-worth, you know. And again, by promoting, you know, also accountability. That's one of the biggest things. And our vets, they're all about accountability. Yeah. So again, you know, if again, as we are structuring this the right way, the benefits are just going up and up and up and up. Now, our vets are going to be trained, and they're going to go through mentorship training through Valor Mentoring with Tim Davis at the rec. So we're putting together this team that is going to help kids at the end and the vets at the same time.
Good. Good.
As simple as that. Just come to the shop, create something together, and give each other therapy. Because trauma is trauma. Whether you were at the battlefield going through very bad stuff and everything, or you grew up in a very bad neighborhood, abused, yelled at, no love and everything, they start talking to each other, in a way that, fortunately, in a way, I didn't have to go through that. But in a way, they know not to trigger each other because they both have gone through trauma.
Yeah.
So, of course, the biggest difference is that the kids have that rebellious spirit because they're kids. So this is where the mentorship comes. This is where the training for mentorship comes, because you're going to be dealing with just typical rebellious behavior from kids, which is fine, But that's why I also partnered out with CTEC.
Good.
Oh yeah, CTEC we're chatting. They're going to be very involved in Forge Fest, but we're talking about having kids come to the shop and take some classes. But I'm going to be heavily really pick their brains and rely on them and their experience in how to deal with kids, because that's important, So their experience is going to be invaluable to us as well. So it's a very good collaboration that we're doing. And we're doing something that they don't, which is very hard. So we're excited about that because, CTEC does everything. Oh, my God. If you guys ever had the chance to go and just tour their shops, oh, good Lord, it's just amazing. So so that's why that partnership is also very important.
Yeah.
We need to show, what is interesting is this concept. I came to the Salem Kaiser school district a few years ago with the idea. No. Salem and Kaiser School District is one of the hardest shells to break. And one of the arguments is that, it's like they're too young to be into us. I go, you know what? And I give them the example about the juvenile department. I go, there's 12-year-old, 11-year-old kids, 12-year-old kids learning how to weld in the juvenile department. So don't tell me the high schoolers are incapable of learning tools.
Yeah.
I'm having a hard time keeping my tongue on this one because go ahead.
I was going to say that I think the school systems, all of them need to be refurbished anyhow. It's like crap because they still teach the same way since, I'm almost 60 years old, and they still teach kids. They try to fit those round pegs in a square hole. And, I have a 13-year-old that struggles all the time. And that's the thing, and that it's still the same model. And, and I think that's very important. The other thing I was going to say is I really like what you touched on about helping the vets, because that's, I have employees at my shop, and I really love when I have a veteran that's applying for a position, because I know when I get that person, they're going to have structure, they're going to have work ethic, and stuff like that. And so I really like having that. And then I pair them with a younger person in the shop. I like having somebody younger because they're not going to let them slack off.
Absolutely. Oh, and they're going to be on time. They're going to be on point. They're going to be, absolutely.
And so I really like that. And I like how you're bringing in helping vets have worth and a purpose. And you're opening it up for them. And then that mentoring with the kids is really huge, because I think they're going to just do it naturally. Yeah.
No, absolutely. It just adds up. It's now here's the thing. We are we're not really that good, but we try to. We're very good at putting band-aids on things. We're a band-aid in the community. Unfortunately, we don't emphasize too much prevention. We're not really good at prevention. We're not. Yep. So and that also goes with healthcare, but that's another talk, because I also do medical interpretation. I love doing that. I go to the hospital, to the Salem Health and all those areas to do interpretation for families and everything. And I've seen how bad our health care. It's just anyway. That's a different talk. But we are not really good at prevention, so we need to start looking up this type of programs as a preventive service. Okay, for kids, it's prevention or prevent them from start thinking about, hey, I can go and get in trouble here and it will be okay. I'll be in the streets and doing that. We're trying to prevent that by keep them busy and teaching them tools and, just doing these great things. I mean, look at 4-H Club. They started those little girls and dudes, this little, raising chicken, cows, and goats.
Yeah.
And today, they're doctors, they're astronauts, whatever they want to make. But when the time comes, those kids are not afraid to get their hands dirty. And they know responsibility, accountability, being on time. They know all of this important aspects of a kid the kids needs to learn. And they're so successful. They're an asset to the community. They're needed.
Yes.
So, in my opinion, again, it's all about giving them the kids everything. It's our job to just throw everything at them, and something will stick. So and with the vets, again, it's that sense of that they're still valued because they are, and just given the opportunity to find another identity, a new identity for many. And with the kids, again, it's not the same. Also with the boys, of course, boys will be boys, but girls, I really want to emphasize, or I really want to push to have girls involved in this. Why? I have a 6-year-old girl,
Yes, first grade.
Natalia. Oh yes, she just started first grade, dude. Oh my God, it was. I mean, you seen posts. I love that. I mean, yeah. Anyway, the relationship that you have with a daughter is just like no other. It's really funny because I told friends that don't have daughters, don't have kids or don't have daughters specifically. So I go, look, dude, you might think that you're on top of the food chain out there in the world. You might think that you're this badass guy. I rode motorcycles for years, and you think that you're the alpha male out there in the world. But if that little girl tells you you're a princess today, you're a princess today. And you wear the little tiara, and you wear the little skirt, and you drink coffee with your pinky up, and you have the meetings and conversations with the stuffed animals to talk about what is going on and in the park today.
Yeah.
And you make the voices, and yes, you do. Little girls humble you so fast. It's incredible. Like I said, I marry my wife, a beautiful, smart woman, and I always say that I marry way above my pay rate. I'm lucky. Ugly guys, we still have a chance. Let's put it that way, So I did good. The trick, though, is that you have to be funny, though.
Yeah.
That's how I got her. You know what I mean? The first couple jokes.
I'm there.
Gotcha.
I'm there.
Right? So so ugly guys out there, trust me. You have a chance. Just be funny and interesting. All right. So anyway, so I have a 6-year-old daughter, Natalia, and my job as a dad. What's interesting is my job is not to make her happy. All right. My job is to give her the tool that she needs to be okay out there. That means that I need to teach her how a man should treat her, and her how to be a lady. But also, most important than all, I need to make sure that her self-esteem is based on her skills, her heart, and her mind, not the way she looks. Our girls are gonna be heartbreakers, man. They're gonna be beautiful girls, man. But I cannot allow my little girl to think that her worth is on this and how she looks.
Or socially.
Absolutely, no.
I was going to touch on something you were talking about with kids and schools and things like that and the preventative and stuff, but it touches a really soft nerve with me. It drives me nuts that the school systems keep, even with the workforce, they keep putting those Band-Aids on you like, oh, that's not good for them, we're just going to stop that program or stop this, and it's not popular or whatever. And I feel like they're filtering all these children into to the social and, all that stuff where, it's all that worthiness and all the stuff that you are is about popularity and about fashion, about all this other stuff. We've taken it away from the wood shops and the bands and all those other programs and stuff that weren't popular or socially relevant in so many ways. But I think that you took the entire underbelly away from kids, and they have no confidence in children anymore. Like I can't have a 16-year-old use a conveyored oven. Or a slicer, or to use a sheeter where the doughs work. I can't. They don't allow me anymore. And I'm like, I was moving irrigation pipe. I was 4-H. Pigs.
Come on,
and all the terrible stuff. And as far as the kids are like, oh, I hate doing this stuff. But boy, the foundation you create when you put kids in positions, like you show them a lathe. Like, oh my gosh, people would lose their mind. Oh, they can't be around a lathe. That's got like knives and it's turning and the speed. And I think we have done ourselves an injustice by pulling all of that away from the youth. The youth has to get their hands dirty. They got to feel things. They got to be able to do that stuff. Not just be like a product, of like, we're just going to get them through and just like, no.
On everything, you need to widen the spectrum of the options, and history is repeating itself. Why? Because that's what we did in my generation, our generations, sir. Because everybody started pushing. Yeah, you're young, Mike. Don't worry, you're still a young chick. Don't. Remember when you guys the whole craze about computers?
Yes.
And they pushed all the kids to say, no, you need to be a computer engineer. You need to be an office worker. That's where the money is. Technology, you have to be there. That's when shop went out the window.
Yep.
That's when they stopped woodworking, metal
Trades.
shops, auto
They took all the
trades.
trades
That's
out of
when
it.
they went away with that. And what happened? They funneled all these kids into one single thing, which is technology, computer, all that stuff.
And then they built a fence around
what
it.
happened today? What happened today? All these big companies laying off, computer programmers, or computer stuff, everybody, technology, they're laying off so many people. And what is it that we need today? Electricians, plumbers. So
All the
history is
infrastructure.
repeating itself today. Because now, as you mentioned, Mike, it is completely true. Because they're taking away all these options for kids to try on because of fear, whatever fear it is, liability, lawsuits, whatever mentality it is today, whatever it is. They're funneling all these kids to think that the only thing that they have as an option, well, I guess I need to be an influencer. Or I have the camera and people are getting likes. Oh, I think this is where I can make money. Oh, this is my only worth. This is my only choice. This is my only
Worth. That's the big word.
Exactly. That's where, that will be my only worth doing this.
Yeah.
But what about everything else? No, because it's not available. So how can we expect our kids to make the right choices, all their choices, more tangible choices, better choices, if we take those away? And the problem is the fear for some weird reason, whatever fear it is, whatever agenda it is, whatever hidden agenda, whatever, I don't care. Money, whatever it is, right?
Because they
Follow the money.
Every year they keep cutting more and more funding. So they keep cutting more and more teachers. And so all of those classes that we grew up with, home economics, shop class, it's all about funding and money.
Yeah. There you go. Follow the money. So, and I think that we're cutting our kids' wings by minimizing the options and the opportunities for them to experience things. I mean, that's why CTEC is such an important program. It's like, and unfortunately, it's one of those fixes that you're not gonna see the product until a generation later. Sadly, this type of fixes is gonna take a generation at least to take effect.
Yeah, well, the mindset that you have like that of getting these kids back in there and getting them some training on that type of stuff and teaching them some skills, which builds their self-confidence. I have a really good friend that was CEO, he's retired now, of Oregon Freeze Dry. And he ran into the problem of being able to find employees and finding employees with the skill set of being able to do things with their hands. So instead of complaining about it, he was a really smart man. I really look up to him. And Jim Merriman is his name. And he partnered with the LBCC down in Albany, the community college down there. And he says, how can we change this? And he started helping put these programs together, like robotics classes on a local local community college, to where and more stuff that is going to be geared towards people can work on their hands, and it's available for everybody. You don't have to go off to a big college to learn this type of technology and stuff like that. And it worked out really great because it takes time to build that stuff up. You're going to see the change long term, but he was able to start after 4 or 5 years, start finding these people coming in, and he's able to get a bigger work pool and people coming in for working. So I thought that was really, really handy. But I think for me, I remember reading a book a while back. A lot of things changed back in World War II for boys because the men went away to fight the war, and the boys were left with the women, the moms, and they had female school teachers and stuff. And so they, a lot of time, and I read this book and it was a really good book, that some of that, how to be a man was started getting lost, starting back in that era, because more and more young men were being raised by women that weren't able to teach that how to be a gentleman, how to treat a lady right, the work ethic. And it just kept snowballing from that, and then they get into the urban setting, into the city setting, and where you're not working on a farm. You don't work. You know, there's a difference between a farm boy and a city boy. Because they learn that work ethic. They get up at 5 o'clock in the morning and go pick the eggs out of the chicken coop and stuff like that.
If you don't, you eat. You don't eat.
I had 2 eggs this morning.
Did
Just
you?
saying.
Right out of your chicken?
Yeah,
That's what
I
I'm talking
have 9
about.
chickens. So.
That's what I'm talking about.
I had 1 hen that was laying, then I had 2 that I was able to pick up. So I got 2 eggs so far. We get about 6 eggs a day.
Soap maker,
Yeah.
chicken raiser.
Yeah.
No.
And he showed me his
Blacksmith.
magic cards.
Hey,
D&D player.
professional D&D player. Jesus,
yeah.
man.
Pizza maker.
I know, try rider, biker, like this, you know.
I saw the picture of him in my-
yeah. Oh my God, man! You should have your own show or something. You know.
No. It'd be a ball pit, is what it would be. That's about it.
I'll watch it.
It would just be a big ball
Be
pit.
awesome.
Like, we'd be in there just, yeah.
We got him to cold plunge a few weeks ago, jump into 38-degree ice water.
Oh, that's something
did
that I
it.
don't think I'll ever do. I just.
It's so worth it.
Yeah,
Is it?
both of them did it.
It really is. I never thought I would do it either, and then I was like, okay, I'm gonna do it.
I'm a
I didn't
chicken.
think about it, and then you just do it, and then before you know it, 5 minutes feels like 60 seconds.
Yeah, no, yeah, I can see that, but the first plunge, I'm a chicken. I don't let this fool you. Okay, 2 slaps and I'm done. All right, you know, no, don't, yeah, you know.
This is how you look at it.
That's right.
You don't let that ice bath be your bitch.
Wow.
There you go.
Now you know how to motivate him.
Own that. Own it.
All of a sudden, I feel like a shot of testosterone right now. I'm like, oh my God, I just grew some hair right now thanks to an Arthur, man. I'm like, this is
Well,
great.
my wife does that. That's what she
there you
does.
go.
And
All
so
right.
she was on the show as a guest, and I said, you know what? Let's have a get together, and
Yeah.
it was fun. Mike,
Yeah.
because it was even funnier. If I give you a little backstory about that, Mike and I have breakfast a couple times a month, and for over a year now, he's like, I inspired him to buy a little sauna and a cold plunge bath, and he kept telling me about it for almost a year that he bought this. And during the show, I go, Mike, have you used it yet? Nope.
Nope. Still in the corner, yeah.
So in front of everybody, I was like, hey, we're going to do this. And he couldn't say no.
I
so-
know the feeling.
Yeah.
But,
Yeah, I
hey,
understand.
But
Go ahead.
yeah, I was gonna say, but it's got all the benefits and stuff like that. I really am not. I don't take care of myself very well. I've kind of always said that's kind of my thing. I like to take care of everybody else. I take care of everybody else is going okay, and then I leave no time for myself, which is the way it's kind of always been. But so I've been starting to put all these pieces around me. But hanging out with Arthur, I'm starting to like get closer and closer to taking care of myself and doing some of these things because there's so much benefit to it. And so some of the guests we've had, it's been highlighting health and wellness, both mentally, emotionally, and all that stuff. I mean, because you talk about it with everything you're talking about today in a different light, and so
Yeah,
everybody has
totally
kind of a
different
different way of talking about something. That the core of it's still the same. Is you got to take care of yourself in so many different ways. And so, but before we get too far away from it, there's something that we need to talk about,
No snap.
which is the Northwest Forge Fest.
Yes.
Yes.
I am super excited about this thing, and we're going to be out there to help you. So we're
I
going to be.
appreciate it.
And this is the gentleman you need to talk to about signs and things like that, because that's his wheelhouse. I can't wait. I'm trying to figure out how we're going to be able to help you. Like, we'll be able to help you with food and all that kind of stuff, whatever we need to do there. But me personally, those areas, because I don't know if you're going to have that where people can go in there and there's going to be a competition at all, or is it, how are you doing it? So kind of explain what you're doing, when you're doing it, and where you're doing it.
So yeah, I've been working on this event under the radar for several months. I've been talking to certain people to put it together, and then finally I was able to say, okay, it's happening. So, the first thing is that is going to be September 20th. Is going to be at Acres of Hope Youth Ranch. Acres of Hope, for those who are not familiar with it, they are an organization that they provide therapy services to kids who have gone through very bad stuff, and they use horses as therapy. So they have a beautiful ranch. So when I came and talked to Justin, the director of operations and everything. I know him for for several years because every year I donate a knife for their fundraising events, which I believe, if I'm not mistaken, I think the last knife that I donated to them sold for $5,000, something like that. It was great. It was amazing. I loved it. I came to Justin. Okay, hey, Justin, do you? I have an idea for an event, and he said, "Do you need a barn?" I was like, "Wait. Let me tell you about the event, right?" And he's like, "Oh, okay, yeah, but do you need a barn?" I go like, "Dude, hold on a minute. I'm practicing my skills and how to ask for help, and you're not helping. So can you please play hard to get?" He's like, "Okay, yeah, but you need a barn, right?" I go, "Yeah, dude, yes, I do need a barn. Let me tell you about this." Anyway, half sentence over, he's like, "Dude, we're on it. We have the tables, we have chairs." He got all excited about it. So the way it's going to be is that at 10 o'clock is going to start. 10 o'clock, from 10 o'clock to 12 o'clock, we're going to have a Forging Academy. Forging Academy basically is going to be about 5 stations with anvils and forges. And each station is going to be hosted by a friend of mine that they all are coming down to help me out. 4 of them were in Fortune Fire as well. So they're going to come and host one station, and people can come in and forge a little souvenir. Also, we're going to have a mechanical bull. That's going to be so sweet. Well, I already have a list of people that I will love for the mechanical bull.
I've always wanted to see how long it can stand.
Oh, yes. Then 12 o'clock, that's where Mike is going to come with pizzas. Mike Sublette, right? 12 o'clock. Yeah. To 1 o'clock, and also Mike Adams is bringing barbecue as well. Michelle Ashley she's gonna bring some treats. And I'm gonna have us 2 sisters to serve coffee. So from 12 to 1:30, that's gonna be lunch, and we're gonna have silent auctions during that time. Then at 2 o'clock is the first event. Basically, it's the first competition, and there's gonna be vets. So I'm gonna have Marines, Army, Navy, and Air Force, and not really sure if we're gonna have a Coast Guard or I don't know anybody from Space Force. Do you know anybody from Space Force? Anyway,
might be able to help you with that.
All right. So if you find somebody who might be interested to compete from Space
I know somebody that's involved. We're heavily involved in the Veterans Day Parade.
Okay.
Down in Albany, and the person that puts it on, she knows everybody in the different places. So.
All right. So yeah, if you can help me on that one. Okay. So.
What about the National Guard? Because we
or
have
National
Guard thing.
Yeah, I don't know. I haven't put a word out, but I don't know if you guys know anybody from the National Guard who would like to come and represent. So let me know. We'll do the homework. We'll have that first initial competition.
So that's at what time?
That's going to be around between 1:30 and 2 o'clock. Okay. That's where it starts. Then at around 3 o'clock is going to be the second competition, which is going to be CTEC. Mm-hmm. I met with them yesterday, with the heads of the departments, and they're going to have a department versus department competition. And let me tell you something. I knew they were competitive, but I did not know they were this competitive, all right? Mm-hmm. So it's going to be woodworking, fabrication, aviation, I believe, and cosmetology. And they have like 20 different programs, but those are the ones who are looking to join. Yeah. So John, one of the instructors for the fabrication department, he's like, "Oh yeah, that trophy is going to look really good on top of the door." So they started already picking at each other. Yeah. So that's going to be the second competition, and then the main competition, I'm bringing Kaiser and Salem Police Department and Fire Department, and Polk County Sheriff and Marion County Sheriff Department. They're going to send units to compete against each other. And you know how those guys are always looking to ways to compete against each other? Mm-hmm. So yes. So, and they all have confirmed, so they're going to be competing. So that's going to be the main event.
Okay.
During the whole competition, we're going to have Zach Stone. He's going to be our Yeah, actually, he's gonna go because he's gonna be going around with a
MC?
microphone,
Okay.
with a cameraman, because we're gonna have a big screen on top of the competitors.
Okay.
And he's gonna be going around interviewing people, like at the show, during the competition, so people will be engaged in what's going on.
Oh, cool.
Also, Kathy Clark, mayor from Kaiser, Julie Hoy, our mayor from Salem. They're looking to come to be part of the judges. Also, Tim Davis is going to join us for being part of the judges. And I asked our Commissioner Daniel Beth, and I asked her, can you please be part of the judges? And she's running for governor, so she doesn't know she's going to be able to make it. But I told her, hey, this is a chance for you to shake some hands. Come on, So hopefully she'll make it. So we're going to have them as judges, for example. So this is going to be very close to basically a rock concert. The energy is going to be great. Oh, and I'm going to have I completely forgot his name. You probably guys have seen him. He's a Salem strong man. He bends steel and pots and everything. He's done a few events, and he's coming to do demos as well. So this is gonna be like a rock concert, and it's funny because these friends of mine that are coming to help me out, they're all instructors, all right? So they like to teach. So they asked me, so what they're gonna be making? They're gonna be making knives? No, they're not gonna make knives. They're gonna make just a little barbecue, simple barbecue sets. The steak turner, the fork, and the spatula. And but do they know how to do that? Like, no, they're gonna come to my shop, a few days before the competition, so they get a crash course. So they're not gonna go. It will be hilarious to see them struggle, right, without knowing what the heck they're doing. But no, I'm not that mean. So they're coming to the shop to get a crash course. But during the whole competition, they're gonna be supported by a blacksmith anyway. So it should be fun. So it's gonna be fun. This is not a demo. This is not a class. No,
Do you have enough forges?
So we just purchased 10 forges, little ones.
Okay.
Just
'Cause
for the events.
I've got mine that I could bring to you.
Yeah, I'll let you know. If
Yeah, let me know if
more.
you need anvils. Let me know if you need anything else. 'Cause I could just ship it all over there.
Yeah, what we're looking at to need is propane tanks. So I only have like 3. I can get 3, 4, 5. We might need like 4 more
Do you
propane
need a sponsor
tanks.
for that?
For
Propane in the tanks?
So we're probably gonna borrow them from my friends.
Okay,
So
because I have connections with the propane companies.
oh.
That's why I'm asking.
Okay. Yeah, we can fill the tanks up because it will be a whole day thing.
I can see if we can get one of the trucks out there with propane and
Oh, awesome.
and that they can fill the tanks, and then they might have tanks that they can do loaner tanks. I have a company here in town, Blue Star Gas, and then Co-Energy Propane down in Albany.
Okay.
So I have 2 companies I can ask.
Perfect.
You should give me a list of all the different things that
Little
you
things.
have, and we may be able to bridge some of the gaps.
Appreciate it.
Just
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, appreciate
sometimes
that.
ask for help.
No,
Josh.
man, I'm trying to be better at it.
Everybody is, right? We all are.
Yeah,
That's the hardest part.
it's the hardest part. Well, here's the thing. You guys build yourself up, right, through all your life.
Yeah.
You guys being the ones who have been moving that couch every time that you need to, right? So, and so, for example, we're here, right? If there is a couch in front of me that I need to move, I will never ask you to give me a hand. I will just go ahead and move it. Not because of pride or ego. No, it's because I've moved that thing myself my whole life.
Yeah.
I don't want to bother you.
Yeah, you're built that way.
Right. So that's why asking for help doesn't come naturally.
I'm going to tell you something that really helped me. And this just happened about 4 years ago. Still working on it, but still, it helped me. Charles, one of my close friends, he told me, he said, why would you take the opportunity away from me to be your friend? He said, because every time you don't ask for help when you need it, it makes me feel like I'm not that close of a friend to you to be able to help you, kind of thing. He said, because every time I've ever needed help, you're always there. And yet you take that away from me every time. And so you got to look at it that way, that whenever you need help, you need to allow your friends an opportunity to be there for you as well.
I have to have a vulnerable moment now.
Oh.
I'm going to have a vulnerable moment. Like you were moving and
I'm sure
remodeling
he's
your
cuddling.
house. And you were moving and you were moving your house and you were telling me you had to move a 400-pound anvil and you did it all by yourself and you did all this stuff. And how many, I can pull up my phone. Mike, do you need some help? Mike, do you need me to come out to your house? You know I know how to remodel stuff. Yeah. And Mike's like, help,
And
man.
how you doing? I'm okay.
You know, I got it. I don't need any help. And so wait a second. You took the opportunity for me to be a better friend to you away from me?
Mike.
I'm just asking these questions.
So
You can ponder that one for a little while and get back
I
to
deal
me.
with it too, though. My son was like, do you need help carrying those bags? No,
That's fine, I got it.
all by myself.
That's fine.
I'm good.
You know?
No, there is a time when you do offer help and you know the struggles well. Now, women are a little bit different about that, right? So whenever my wife is traveling or we're traveling or something and she packs her suitcase, she asked me to carry it because it's always minimum 50 pounds, right, to get on the airline.
problem,
50 pounds. So, hey, do you want me to take the suitcase downstairs? Oh, yeah, go ahead.
Yep.
She never does it herself.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, but
I understand. I'm the same way.
It's a hard thing to get used to and to learn. You know, it's just to know at what point or where and everything. And the older you get, the when it comes to physical stuff, you know, the older you get, the more you start noticing, I don't know, I think I'm gonna need somebody, right?
Yeah.
Because remember when you were like, teens or 20s and everything, you go down the sled, you're like, heck yeah, you're going really fast and everything. Today is like, oh crap, this is gonna hurt. How much is it gonna cost me, right? So you started changing a little bit, but because we're guys, we sort of refuse a little bit. We fight it the whole way. And again, it's not because of ego and everything. It's just by nature. We think, yeah, I can still lift that, no problem. And all of a sudden, the next day, you're like, oh, what did I do? What is wrong? Oh, I slept wrong. No, idiot, it's because you lifted that on your own now. It's just like that. But man will be man. But the goal for this, as I mean, the Forge Fest, is that we're hoping to, we're going to have the live auction. We have sponsorship opportunities. We have different tiers of sponsorship. Also, if you're interested in sponsoring one of the teams, for example, if somebody wants to sponsor, the sheriff department team, obviously, please, you guys let me know. And also each station is going to have like a little donation, little box. So if people would like to donate a couple bucks there and everything, it's not required. Is that if you want to. So our goal is to be able to raise enough funds to get to go through the shop and buy more equipment or better equipment, and also to make it safe because kids are coming. Jesus Christ. Anyway, we need to comply. Kids are coming, so anyway, we need to make it safe. But also is to be able to hire a grant writer. Because even though we've been a nonprofit organization for like already a couple of years, we haven't really touched into grants. And we've been okay, with still the doors open and still moving forward, but barely. I can tell you that like any nonprofit organization, it's just barely. But some way, somehow, there is our God. I mean, we're being able to just keep it up, right? But now that we're moving into something bigger than this, then we'd really need actually to start tapping on some stronger funding, and this is where we need a grant writer to come in. And we've done the homework when it comes to, partnerships and, testimonials and a proven concept that actually kind of works. We already have, done all that work. It's now that we need somebody with the knowledge to be able to basically quantify that, put it together in a nice package and say, hey, we need money for this and this and this and that. Now, we can go by maybe with donations through the year and everything, but unfortunately that will actually limit us, our capacity, obviously. It's a numbers game. Unfortunately, it's money and everything. So hopefully we'll get enough funds to get those things that we need. And we start getting kids and start, kicking ass. Man.
Very cool.
So that's our goal. So yeah, but we're excited. We're so now. This is this year. Next year, I'm planning it to be 2-day event though.
Cool.
I'm already thinking next year. We're gonna learn a lot on this year. But that's one of the reasons why I also wanted to keep it simple. I'm sure that you guys been in events where they have so many things going on that they run out of time. And it feels everything rushed. And it's just quick. It's just, I don't like that at all. And this is the first year that we do this. And we're bringing important people in. So we need to be successful on this. So that's why it was just first hour, all through the day, the forging little thing here, and then food, really quick with silent auction, no live auction, because somebody asked me, hey, we can do a live auction. I was like, no, stop that. Stop it. Stop with all the crazy ideas right now. Next year we might, but right now it's a different type of fundraising event because normally you go to a nice place, all dressed up, and you mingle a little bit. You sit down, you eat dinner, you watch a video, you cry, and then you make the check, and then right?
Yeah.
This is different.
That's good because that's not my kind of event.
Right,
I tend to go towards your kind of event.
Yeah, right?
So let me hammer some steel.
Yes, this is gonna be a little different. This is gonna be like, come here, bring the family, hammer some stuff and everything, have good food, and then watch the rock show, basically a rock, competition that is gonna be basically a rock concert.
I think it's gonna be great. I think that keeping it simple is your greatest asset. Especially got people, you got to execute it well, and keeping it simple is, I think, the best thing you can do. And first annual anything is really, really difficult. Yeah. And so I think that once you get through this year and you kind of lick your wounds on what you should or shouldn't be doing, I think that next year what's nice is you'll be able to plan. Because I think that at this point you'll be able to introduce what you're trying to do to a lot of people, and so I think you'll be able to use this momentum to do some of the other things you want to do. So keeping it simple, to me, I applaud you for doing that, because you get a lot of people in here going, you know what else we can do?
I know.
But it's good though, because that means that people are excited about what you're doing, but it's a lot.
Well, as I told you, I'm a visionary, so my ideas were like going crazy. It's like all over the place, and I had to tell myself, dude, chill. Chill, dude. It's like you're going nuts. You talk to yourself all the time, right?
Yeah.
I was cursing at myself sometimes. I was like really putting myself on the spot. Like, stop. Go for a walk. Think about it. And I will go outside for a walk and then just cool off. And then, okay, keep it simple. Keep it simple. And yeah, also this is gonna show us, how many people we might come, because we have never had an event like this ever. I don't remember, and I did some research. Besides bouncy houses for families and face painting, that's cute, or balloon, okay, that's cute. But nothing like you can come and be hands-on. You can actually be in right there. It's just to me, it's a different kind of event.
Is it a free event?
It is a free event.
Okay.
I want families to enjoy it.
Yeah.
If you're not able to to donate and everything, it's fine.
I have
Come
3
over.
teenage boys at home, and soon I saw the flyer popped up on my social feed. That's how, and then I reached out to Mike. I go, "Is this the guy you know?" Because he's talked about you a lot and told me about with the soap making and the knife making thing, how it's going to be really great. And I said, "Is this your guy?" And we got to get Josh on the show so we can promote that thing. And then I printed that flyer out and I showed my kids, and they're all into swords and knives and weapons and that type of thing. And I was like, they're like, oh yeah. And so my oldest boy's birthday, and so they're all 3 want to go.
Ooh, perfect.
So I'm so excited.
It's just, it's funny because when I went to CTEC, I did during a whole day, I did 4 demos. And each group was 25 kids. So I did a demo in front of 100 kids in one day. 80% of them, they wanted to come to the shop.
Yeah.
I mean, they got so excited about it. They got crazy about it. They really wanted to do it. So, but they have never really seen it. So if they don't see it, how do we know they're going to like it or not? So that's one of the biggest goals on this event, is to promote blacksmithing, and have families to have a good time, a fun time, and that's why I wanted to make it free first year. I don't know next year how it's gonna be, but we'll try to keep it as free as possible all the time. But there are gonna be chances to donate, to support the costs and everything, and also we need volunteers. So each station or each thing is going to have its own person or owner that's going to come and set up, right? So we don't have to worry much about, like, for example, food. You guys are going to be there, doing your thing. The mechanical bowl is going to have its own owner coming to set it up. The stations are going to be managed by their own blacksmiths. So there's really not much that we need to really oversee much, just the competitions, things like that. The setup, just tables and chairs.
Yeah.
It's not really that much. So we're going to be there the Friday before, like around from 3 to like 7 o'clock, just setting everything up and everything. So if you know anybody who would like to come and give us a hand on Friday, that would be great. Or on the day, on Saturday, we're going to be there at 8 o'clock in the morning, just making sure that everything is set. During the day, we have a couple of openings. And I have a link to signup.com, and that is a little online site where allows you to see what the spots are, the times also. And then if you want to go ahead and sign up for one spot, you can put your name in it, and then you're good. And I'll share that with you guys too as well.
Yeah, Ashley put it on the site as well.
Oh, cool. Yeah.
And so we'll be able to push that out there.
Yeah, and I've got a lot of people like, yeah, I'll be there. I'll be there. Like, okay, but sign up. Let me know where. But hey, if you don't want to sign up online, that's fine. Just show up 8 o'clock in the morning, and then we can rock it out.
Okay. Also, if you give me a little flyer, I'll put them on top of all the pizza boxes. So
Awesome.
that way you can get a good, you just get the
thank you,
community kind of that way. It's kind of like a simple little thing to do that maybe a touch on some people.
Pretty
that,
effective, too.
Just different, it's just a little stuff that every little bit helps. But I do have one, I'm curious about one thing. Steels. There are many different kinds of steels. Are you going to have anything that will show people the different varieties of steel? Because I think it would be neat if you had a table that showed like, some of the different steels. Either it would be between weights or, any of those types of things, and to talk about how, just how the different steels are. Because I know one of the things for me is in one of the Forged to Fire shows, they basically have like a broken down car, and then like you can take whatever steel you want from this car to use for making the knife. And there are certain metals in the cars that you want to use, and there are certain metals you do not want to use. Right. And there's a huge variety of different steel out there. You wouldn't think, a lot of people just think there's just steel.
Yeah.
But there's many different.
That's a really good idea. I think what I can actually put together is like a show and tell table.
Yeah.
Where I can have friends of mine, the blacksmiths that are coming, to actually bring a few pieces where they utilize a rasp, and then bring a rasp, and then the final piece to show that, hey, this came from this rasp, or a piece of leaf spring for a vehicle, or something like that. That's not a bad idea. You know what? I'll go and find a little place where it's gonna be a show and tell, where they can come and also show up their work. My friends and everything. So it's not a bad idea.
Because that was the one thing that I when we were talking about that, when as Charles and I have been kind of going down this journey, it's I don't know which steel to use, or all those types of things. Like, how do you find this steel? Because you look at steel and you're like, it's like I have no idea what's different between these two steel, and it can be vastly different.
Absolutely.
And so that I just thought that would be an interesting thing for people to know that this could be done in these different ways and stuff.
That's a good idea. I'll have a display with that, and we're gonna have a section. We're gonna have tables and things, because I'm also bringing organizations that provide a service to vets, for example. To just show the services that they provide for them. So it's also going to be like a resource, so that affair. Yeah. But so that's the goal.
Good.
So hopefully everything goes well. Nothing tells me that we're going to have bigger issues. Not really. Things are just little by little, just moving. Of course, like everything else, you always find, up to this point, you start finding things that are not moving as fast as you want to move, and you start freaking out.
Yeah.
But that's just part of the whole.
The last 3 days is going to really be that's when it gets maddening.
Oh.
But you probably have a lot more support than you, or you're going to have none. And you're going to be like, wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, I'm going to be finding out where I needed more support than in other areas. So it's going to be.
Don't forget to ask. Don't forget to
ask.
Well, I guess that phone and say, hey, I'm short on people. Can you come down here?
I was going to say, because I'm count me in on Friday to be there. I went on your thing on how do you click in to do whatever, and I didn't understand. It was like, the link that kind of shows like what's needed, it doesn't. I had a hard time trying to figure out. Okay, well, what is this for? Is this to sign up for the event? Is this to sign up for volunteership? Is this to sign up to be a participant? Those types of things. And so that link that you set out there, that's just for volunteering.
It's for volunteers.
Okay.
Yeah, it's for volunteering. Yeah.
Because I was like, I didn't. So really, there's nobody in this year that will be able to enter a competition for that, other than the different people you already have set in place to be in competition, correct?
Right. And a
So-
couple spots that are maybe left, for example, Coast Guard, stuff like that, that we might still be able to fill.
Okay.
But at least for the main competition with the departments, that's already filled. With C-Tech, they already have their people.
Okay.
And with the vets, we only have one or two, like the Coast Guard or, Space Force.
Just go like this, say link here, go like that. Go up and say link here. Go
And
The
she'll
link-
put you.
here.
It's right here.
Love
And
it.
she'll put you. There we go. Link is right.
Right here.
So, yeah, because I think that it would be neat to be able to have a group come in, and be like with Forest and Fire kind of thing, where you have a competition about how to
Yeah.
make all the different things. But
But next year has a 2-day event.
yeah,
I already have a lot of wild, kind of ideas and what to put it together because I got 2-day event. Oh, and next year I'm gonna try to bring one of the judges from Fortune Fire.
yeah,
That's what I tried to do this year, but they're all busy. And also next year, I'm going to bring a friend of mine, Amber. She is from the Discovery Channel, Naked and Afraid. She's one of the competitors. Yeah, so I talked to her this year. I say, hey, babe, what are you doing next year? She's like, what do you want to do? Oh, I told her about the event, and she's like, I'm there, Josh. So we might have
That's
also
awesome.
Celebrity from Naked and Afraid, for example. She's badass. Oh my God, this
I
girl.
imagine, I love that show.
Dude, she's I mean, Naked and Afraid is one of those shows that I never really got into. It's like a little bit, but
I don't even want to be naked in the shower.
I know, right? It's like just yeah. I mean, it's just weird. It's like to me like naked. No, anyway, the war is not ready. There might be, maybe they can come out with a spin-off for us.
Yeah, yeah.
Not
maybe.
people in shape, but just
Yeah,
us,
yeah.
something.
I think, but next year what's nice about it is you can see that once you get through this year and once you put this all together, you already have plans for a following up year and all that kind of stuff. And I think it's just exciting to know that, one, what you're doing, and then who you're going to connect with and things like that. Because I think that it's really needed. Right?
Right.
I'm super excited that you're doing what you're doing. And but yeah, so count me out there as a volunteer on Friday. I am old, so I can't move couches like I used to move couches, but I can definitely.
I'll tell the operator to go easy on you on the
Yeah,
mechanical
please.
ball. Just go easy. Just jack it a little bit a couple times so he.
But if you need a forge, if you need some of the other things, I've got some of the materials. I don't have a whole
Appreciate
lot,
it.
but I do have a couple things. And yeah, propane and things, and so
I'm gonna make
just
that
let us
call.
know.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
This morning.
Awesome.
By
Thank
the
you.
time you leave this parking lot, you'll
That works.
call me.
Awesome.
So yeah, so we'll put the times and links and everything else that we have, available to us. And Ashley's really spectacular about promoting it, pushing it out there, and so you need the websites and things like that, and she'll connect all the different dots in different ways and stuff.
Appreciate
So,
it.
and yeah, if you can get me, even if you can get me, I think I could probably just take the Forge Fest off of your link and take a picture of that.
Okay.
And just use that, and I'll just make a bunch of copies and throw them on there. And so
Sure. Thank
we
you.
normally, that's coming up on the 20th. That's fast.
It's coming around the corner. Yeah, I
You're
mean,
like 2.5 weeks out.
I started planning this at the beginning of the year, and I'm like, yeah, I have time. Oh my God! It's like, oh good Lord! Somebody told me, dude, it's in about 3 weeks, isn't it? I was like, it is in about 3 weeks.
Well, it's like planning a wedding.
Yes.
A lot of planning, and it's gonna be a lot of work and a lot of
Yeah.
stress, and it's gonna be over.
Well, the good thing is that Stephanie and Steve Bob are actually helping us coordinate it.
They're
Yeah.
awesome.
Oh, Stephanie is the best. I mean, she's been very busy, right, with Ollie's and everything, and her new bar, and the coordination's been through texts and everything. She's been over there, so yeah. And so once I got the venue, and then a coordinator, I thought, okay, this is happening.
Yeah.
Because if I try to coordinate this myself on
Yeah,
my own,
yeah,
I
yeah.
will screw it up so good. I will do such an amazing job in screwing it up that I will not want to do it again. But once Stephanie had a chance to say, yeah, Josh, we can help you. And I told Steve about it, and Steve was like, dude, I love this thing. He just love it.
Yeah.
Then that's when I knew what was going to happen.
No, I think it's great.
Awesome.
Yeah. You want to take bets now on how long you can stay on a mechanical bull?
I'm not doing it.
You're not?
Nope.
Oh, I got
I can't do it. I hurt my back a long time ago, and I just know. See, this is
the good old my back, and,
I did it one yeehaw and I was like, wee!
yeah,
it. All right. So how many? I'll bet you I can stay on for at least 5.
$5 or five?
5. No, you,
seconds?
I was say 5 minutes.
All right.
okay, you just wait. We'll do a follow up on this, but I'll tell you. So,
I'll do it. I'll try it. I'm okay.
Here,
20
I brought
minutes.
some gifts. I'll get you one. Do you wanna? That's a bottle opener.
oh,
I
yeah.
love it.
Or I have a button. What do you do?
Take one.
A button? All right.
More than anything else, thank you for coming. Yeah, I think that it's every time we have somebody sit down with us to talk with us, I'm amazed at what comes out. And I'm super excited about the event and all the different connections you have with the kids and the military and the community especially, because I think that you touch the community in different ways in different spots, and I just think that's amazing. You have somebody in there that can kind of bring a lot of these teams together because it's all education. And so I really appreciate you taking the time and being one of those people that makes a difference in the community. It's needed, as you know. It's needed. But the event's going to be spectacular, and I can't wait to be a part of it.
Well, thanks, Mike. Thanks, Arthur. I really appreciate you guys, help on this and your friendship. I really appreciate it. I think more than anything is one of the reasons why I love to do this. Is the communities, the friendships that I've created, and they are forever lasting. So, because at the end of the day, legacy is what you leave behind,
Yeah,
and what you create through the journey. So, yeah. Thanks, Mike. Appreciate you.